DJ and PK. BYU loses at Arizona last night. Anthony Dell'Orso, who was averaging 8 points a game, scored a season-high 22 points. And Arizona beats BYU. Is that another blown opportunity for the Cougars? Or you can look at that game and think, they're figuring stuff out. This is going to work in these final 5 games.
I think the thing that they're figuring out is AJ will have to ice his right arm and elbow and wrists after every game because he needs to get as many FGAs as possible.
40 shots for AJ. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, him and Wright obviously have to carry it. I do think that if I'm looking for reasons of hope, I think Kennard Davis, we can see more of him, integrate him more into the offense, play him more. You're going with DeBonsa and Wright. They combine to sit 3 total minutes, 2 for Wright, 1 for AJ, and it's probably not even that because you look at the box score and everything's a round number. And I would play Kennard Davis till he can't go anymore either, and continue to push these other dudes to see if you can get something out of them. And Keita did what he can do: 9 boards, 4 blocks, half of 4 offensive rebounds. He only 4 points, but he only takes 3 shots. So I don't know that you can get more out of him. Right? I think that type of defensive effort, he was a presence. You'll take that.
He was rewarded in playing time. That playing time between him and Ahmed has been split pretty much down the middle, but not in this game. He got 3 quarters of playing time, and Ahmed got 1 quarter instead of going half and half.
And I think the Cougars benefited a little bit from Pete being out because he's another big body, and of the big bodies that they have, he's the best. So I think that for Arizona's sake, the reason why I don't feel awful for BYU, it's not a doom and gloom. They're not going to get Dell'Orso to score 22 very many times going forward. That was, you talk about role players at home. He's at home.
Yep.
The crowd of old people were cheering him on, and he had the game of his life. If that's what it takes for you to win, you're going to be in trouble.
And Arizona will probably be in trouble at Houston on Saturday.
We'll see if Pete plays.
See if he's back.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what his status would be.
Vernon says the Cougars had many opportunities at the end to close the gap. They only have AJ, and they need more players to step up. I felt Robert Wright Jr. had a poor game as well.
Well, relative to what he's been doing, he certainly had an off game. There's no question about that. Yeah. And the thing that bugs me is that they let guys who have no business doing what they do go off and get all sorts of confidence, and the hoop looks twice the size. He comes down, and they've got a little bit of a fast break going, and the 2 BYU defenders part like the Red Sea, and he goes right for a dunk. Can you guys put some resistance out there? Do you always have to wait till the last 5 minutes?
You would like to know in that moment, how old were they the first time a coach told them, stop the ball?
Yeah.
Because my guess is they were in grade school.
And then right at 0.8 of a second at the end of the first half, he gets a freaking wide open 3. Wide open. He's hot. He's got more confidence in the college game than he's ever had in his life. And nobody marks him. Nobody guards him. And he gets a wide-open 3 right in front of your bench when you should have 50 guys screaming in all those gray pullovers. Guard the guy!
So all of the Cougar fans who are on social media who have coached youth basketball went crazy on that, and they made 2 excellent points, actually, for all the negativity out there on social media. One of them had the video of a guy, I can't remember who the defender was.
It was Diamande.
He got held.
He got held.
There
was a pin-down screen, and the guy grabbed his arm.
And the answer was a great follow-up from a Cougar fan. It's like, it shouldn't matter that he got held because they should be switching everything in that moment anyway because you got to anticipate they're going to get held. But he was trying to fight through screens. They weren't switching everything. So Cougar fans were having at it. During halftime, they were entertaining themselves, and
That was
angst.
so frustrating because it could have been 4.
Yes.
Instead, it's 7. They got all the mo.
The momentum, the mindset, the crowd erupted. Like, we're going to do this when that shot went in.
Right. And it
had been so close in the first half.
Back and forth.
Right.
Go in with a 4-point deficit. You're
Feeling
fine.
like it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
And then at 7, it felt like, it is crazy as one shot, but it felt like there was a hill to climb.
And then the third play, an inbounds pass, they try to throw it out, and it's picked off for an easy layup. Can you come up with an inbounds play? I don't need you to score off an inbound play, but how about getting the ball inbounds? You got 14 guys in great pullovers. Can somebody draw up a play?
Okay. I'm with 80% of the way there, but no, run it for points. People running inbounds for points all the time. Well, one of the 14 must know how to do it. You can
Just
always
get the
watch
ball
game
in
film
and give it to AJ and get the crap out of the way.
You can tell one of the 14
That's my
people
play.
to watch game. Well, that's not a bad play. There's but also you can tell if you get 14 people, like one of them, all you do is watch it just like rip off 5 good inbounds plays that you watch other games and they work. Whatever your favorite is.
I just want the ball in bounds. I want a low standard.
That's a low bar. It is a low bar, but it's better than what they're getting, which is turnovers off
and
then
inbounds passes. You set a screen and hold somebody then.
Just call Jeff Judkins. He's got like 20 plays lying around. He could just send them down.
I'm not going to call Jeff Judkins and ask him for an inbounds play. No.
Going to watch the video and do it on your own?
No. They need to do it. I'm here to second guess.
Yeah.
My job is to second guess, not first guess.
Yeah.
I'm not getting $4.5 million.
Ken is all done. He is doom and gloom. This experiment has failed. Let's start over. Now, he doesn't explain that. I'm like, well, Ken, like with this group of players, or are you talking like the NIL experiment has failed?
Well, I think what Kevin Young has, and I've got zero problem with this, is that he has said he's going after the top players. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. Do that, and AJ is a top player. No doubt about it. And Rob Wright's really good. Totally fine with that. But then don't go after all of them because you're not going to get them all. And you don't want to be left short and then fill your roster with a bunch of guys who aren't very good. And unfortunately, that's looking like what they've got. They got the top end, and even with Saunders, it was a problem. Obviously, without Richie, it's compounded. But get some of these LDS kids and convince them, you'll have a role here. Mm-hmm. You are important. You can go there and get more FGAs. You can go across the country, but come here and you'll have a role. And then have them talk to the guys that Dave Rose, the Noah Hartsocks of the world, who were never stars, but played a significant factor in the team winning. And then, especially if you're local, then all these business opportunities, you don't have to go live in South Carolina or Virginia. Nope. You could be here and help us.
And they got
don't
the perfect,
overlook these dudes.
They got the perfect guy in house for that. Travis Hansen went to Mountain View. Didn't he go to your school, Yak? He went to Mountain View. He went to UVU for a year. He played at BYU for 3. He's got a job in Utah County. He has companies in Utah County.
He was a star, though.
He was a star. He ended up being a star, but I don't know that people knew he was going to be a star.
I don't know.
And he made some money in the NBA, but he made a ton of money playing overseas.
And now he's like the team president, for lack of a better term, for BYU Athletics.
Yeah.
But to your point, like that's Travis's one story. You could get 10 different stories. They could have 10 different players of different levels of glory in their time at BYU.
So don't shoot for every top 50 guy.
But guys 5 through 8.
Yeah.
You're gonna
and that's where I think the LDS talent is available in those slots if you're augmented by the stars at the top.
And maybe some of them you bring in as freshmen, but some of them you keep tracking because they go somewhere else and maybe you bring them back after a year or 2 or 3. And you tell them that when you're recruiting them. Hey, it's not over. This is college basketball. It's never over. We will watch you at fill-in-the-blank school. And in a year or 2, you could be coming back.
System right down the street in UVU.
UVU is an excellent example.
Yeah. So there's 3 or 4 guys out there that could really have helped this team. And I'm not putting it all on BYU for not getting him because I don't know all the particulars. There's a couple of guys I've investigated, and I was told that BYU didn't show them enough love, so they went elsewhere. And I believe those guys could help.
There's a chance that some of those players would not be enthralled with being the first or second or third guy off the bench. They'll probably going forward. There'll always be people who, even if they make the appeal and show them the love, it's like, yeah, I don't think my role there is going to be big enough. I don't think my NIL money there is going to be big enough. But if off the top of our heads, you and I can identify 3 or 4 guys, I'll bet people who are diving deeper into it can find 6, 8, or 10 guys. And they only need a few of them. They don't need them all.
But as far as this season, I still think they can get to the Sweet 16. Because you can step back and say some role player from Australia had the game of his life, and that's what beat you.
And it was a true road game, and obviously you're going to get the postseason, play neutral court, and maybe that'll help you out. So really, I think it's like, what can you take from that game that gets you ready for Iowa State? Because if you get a win over Iowa State, you're going to feel great. I mean, going into this, they would have said if you split these 2 games, well, you feel great, and everybody would have felt great.
Well, yeah, and now Texas Tech's best player is out. Mm-hmm. Toppin, unfortunate. ACL, same thing.
Yeah.
Basically non-contact, a little more contact than Richie had, but not a whole lot.
Not much.
No, and he goes down. It's like, I've seen this. We've seen this. So with Joe Ingles, he's going up for a layup against, I think it was against Minnesota, and he goes down, and he's done. And so this is the sucky side of the sport, is that these things happen. So the point being that when Tech comes in here in 2.5 weeks, you got an opportunity to win that game. And so we'll see what happens. Maybe they really only have one opportunity to beat a big-time ranked team, because if they beat Tech at home, they didn't have Toppin and blah, blah, blah. But still. Yeah, what do you got? 5 games to go.
The Big 12,
I think you can win all 5 of them.
The Big 12 has enough respect, though. I could see the discussion. They beat Tech, they didn't have Toppin. Yeah, well, they didn't have Saunders. 2 shorthand teams, and they gutted it out and won it. I could see that discussion happening in the committee room.
Yeah, good enough for me.
But you're right about the Iowa State. If they can win that game, on paper, it definitely looks like the toughest of the 5. Not to discount, there's going to be a lot of travel here, going to Cincinnati. Utah just won at West Virginia. So.
But that's going to be hard.
I agree. It's going to be hard.
But you got to do it. You win both those games. I think they can finish it off right, the regular season. I have enough faith in the coaches and the players to do that. And I think now they're gonna play with more of an edge, because they didn't get blown out.
No, it was a competitive game. Again, They made a run. I mean, part of the thing is, guys, and it's tough to ask people to do this forever, right? But you put a ton of energy in the last 5 minutes, and look at the results you got. You were down big to Arizona, again, not quite as big as you were at home. You rallied again. You didn't get quite as close as you got at home, but you got close. I mean, you could feel the nervousness in the crowd, like, this isn't over. There's still time.
Oh, pacemakers in that crowd?
They were working.
Yeah, they were. Those snowbirds.
Let's keep Grandma and Grandpa on track here.
That buy U of A season tickets?
Got their money's worth out of those pacemakers. Yeah.
Yes.
Solid investment.
Yes.
The stress was building in that arena.
It was. There's no question about it.
But back to your point about inbounds passes, they're making that run. What a setback with that turnover and an easy bucket. That was just such a soft giveaway. But they didn't fold at that point. They still came back and tightened it up some more. So there's obviously stuff they can look at the film and, well, we can do better than that. You can absolutely woulda, coulda, shoulda a 7-point game. Look at this possession. Look at that possession.
Yeah, and beating Iowa State's going to be a tall task, but it would also be awesome if you accomplished it, because Iowa State, we just saw what they did Monday.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were just sitting here reading the thing, all those scores about 6 ranked teams going on the road and losing in conference, because it's hard.
Do you know Iowa State's Big 12 road schedule right now? Like their record right now in road games?
46-2.
Well, this season, not.
33-4.
They played every game on the road and then some. They're 3-3, so they're vulnerable on the road.
Well, with that guy's biceps, he's a tough guy. He tells him every game is a road.
Leave Otzelberger alone.
Yeah, that dude. He's at halftime. He's not talking to the team. He's doing curls. He's just lucky he came along in the era where you don't have to wear suits. You can wear the golf shirts.
Yeah. Put on the schmedium and really show them off, huh?
Yes.
Sun's out, guns out.
Right. You Stacy, he couldn't do
Iowa
that.
in the winter. What are you talking about? Sun's out.
So I think they have an opportunity here to do well. And now it is. And it is shocked the world because not only are most folks who don't root for you doubting you, a significant portion of your own fan base is doubting you.
With good reason at this point, I got to say.
And Kevin Young talked
doubts.
about that, man. Guy's been a scrapper.
Yeah. So keep scrapping. You're 3-6 in your last 9, but if you beat Iowa State, now you can start trying to put a win streak together. And momentum is a funny thing. You have it until you don't, and you don't until you do. You've talked about that forever. When we were first doing the show, you were talking about it in regard to BYU football because it had the 3 losing seasons, and they made a coaching change. And like when you're winning, you don't think it'll ever end. And when you're losing, you don't think you're ever going to get out of it. But then you look at sports across seasons, across 2 or 3 years, changes like the wind, man.
This is the most volatile sport that we are of our big-time sports in the U.S. that we look at, and it's so unpredictable. I talked about BYU going into New Mexico under Coach Cleveland. Well, just the other day, Texas Tech beating the U of A in Tucson, sitting around, short drive up the freeway in a sterile atmosphere with the coach of a team who's dead man walking. He's got his job for another 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And the Devils beat him.
Go figure.
Yeah. Who would have bet that?
Power of the home court.
Well, I don't think that is the home court. There's no atmosphere in there.
The flukiness and 20-year-olds are up and down, regardless how talented you are.
Now, they were down on top and got hurt, but that was toward the end of the game, and I believe the Devils had a double-digit lead right at that time.
He did play a lot in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, Saunders was the opening minute, but he played, I think, 32 minutes in the game.
Right.
But I think he is a guy who, they'll run out there 38 if they have to.
Certainly.
Like A.J. DeBonta.
And maybe he could have made a difference. But the point being is there's plenty of examples. And you got Iowa State coming in. This is a phenomenal opportunity for you. And you should be furious, man. Just sit around all day. This is a football game in a sense. They've got to sit around all day and watch the television and hear about all these other teams getting the run. The big game of the day is the Cats going down to play Houston, blah, blah, blah. So here's your opportunity to really show them, man.
Jonathan Taberneri, former BYU player, is...
He's got something to say?
Hard to believe. I know, right? You're shocked. But it goes to your expectations. Would you live with this? Because this is what he lays out for BYU down the stretch. He's not unbeaten. But he says, the Arizona loss was expected with or without Richie. He said, I still think BYU beats one of Iowa State and Texas Tech at home. A W against UCF at home, and then split West Virginia and Cincinnati on the road. That would be 3-2. Could you live with that? Would that be good enough? Or do you feel like they're getting into dangerous territory and the committee might slide them down into a 7-10, 8-9 game?
I don't see them sliding with
AJ.
He's such a big name.
He's such a big name. And to that point, ESPN on their main account, despite the loss, AJ dropped 35 points against number 4 Arizona, and they've clipped buckets together. It's just his highlight film, one after another.
Right. And we know where he made his announcement. Was on their shows, on their network. And I think pretty much everybody has soured on Darren Peterson.
He's just missing too many games.
And he's asking out of games.
Yeah.
AJ's not asking out of games.
18 minutes last night.
Last week when Young said, he was about to pass out, AJ comes in, hears about it, he said, no, I wasn't.
That quote, I think, is just between the player and coach. Like, I want you to play. You want to play, but you got to play at a certain level, and you're not there, and it must be because you're exhausted. And so they hashed out whatever that was. His rebound totals go up. He's playing hard at both ends of the floor, and he's out there for 39 minutes. The passing out, I just think the coach was making a point. Wasn't passing out. But you got to play harder. You can't coast through stretches. But the point is,
he's not. No, I think he has to. He's got to pick his spots.
Okay, so the spots can't be competing for rebounds, especially at the defensive end.
Fine. But you're asking him now to play the whole game.
That is the...
If he can grab a blow actually on the floor, I'm okay with it. Because you're not coming out.
And meanwhile, the quotes on Peterson, we've had this happen more than a couple times. I didn't anticipate that tonight at all. I thought he was good to go. We only got 18 minutes out of him. That's disappointing because he could have had a really big night.
That's the most pronounced comment
that's Bill Self after the game.
has made all season.
Right.
And they're showing it right now on ESPN.
No, there it is. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, and we've all been monitoring this, that is the most critical publicly that Bill Self has said. And because now it's like, well, duh.
Yeah, I know. He looks like an idiot if he doesn't say something now.
Right.
But he's the coach. He's got to be careful what he says in public.
Yeah, I know.
Man,
but he's also Bill Self. That is virtually untouchable because he's had a few scandals that he's been able to skate by. And, you know,
and he's still here.
Yeah.
Still coaching, still getting paid, still winning.
Right. And
that was win number 20 for those guys. They won at Oklahoma State, so.
Yeah, we'll see what Peterson does in March. If he's out there playing 33 minutes and they're in the Final Four, all will be forgiven.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Coming up this morning in the 9 o'clock hour, Scotty G is going to join us, and we will look ahead to a big weekend at Nevada, and then they'll be at San Diego State middle of next week. Coming off 3 straight home wins here. They got a nice little streak going. Talk with Scotty G coming up at the top of the hour. And then we will talk Utah Mammoth hockey and Olympic Games with the U.S. women in the final and the U.S. men in the semifinals. So all of that's coming up at 9:30 with Cole Bagley, who covers the Mammoth. Stay with us, DJ and PK. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.